Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Paul, and you are listening to season 3, episode 12 of the Generation Latino podcast. Guys, I hope you had a really good weekend. For me, what did I do? I had lunch with a friend, I worked, and that was pretty much it. I did go to the gym, like I said in last week's episode. I'm gonna be doing a CrossFit competition, so I'm just trying to get moving. I'm just trying to keep my body moving. As a man in his 30s, I am just trying to stay active. And believe it or not, I am really excited to be in my 40s. I have some time before I get there, but I am just really excited to be in that era in my life. I do appreciate my 30s. I do love my 30s, but I have been through a lot in my 30s. Divorce, relationships, just grad school. There were so many things that happened in my 30s that I love. I met some great people in my 30s, but I'm really kind of ready for my next decade. I'm in no rush to get there. I'm just kind of just ready for it. I feel like I'm prepping right now in my 30s for when I'm in my 40s. I don't know. I just have a really good feeling about my 40s. I really do. It could be delusion. I don't know. Everybody lives in delusion now, so maybe it's best for me. But yeah, how was y'all's weekend? I'm over here just sipping on my coffee. I woke up really, really early today and just kind of, you know, soaking in the morning and really just trying to, take my time getting up. I've been really trying to be intentional with my time. It's hard sometimes when it's so busy and life is chaotic and you have like a million things going on. But yeah, it's something that I'm working on and I'm trying to be just very intentional with it. But also, guys, if you haven't, follow me on TikTok at Generation Latino Podcast. I just got it in January and it's gained a lot of traction and I'm able to like chat with people and get new listeners from all over the world. And again, it's a great platform. It's the only social media platform I have. But yeah, follow me on there and you can message me and chat with me and whatnot. I really like it. I put small little videos up of whatever is going on and whatnot, but nothing too personal. Or maybe my dating life, but that's pretty non-existent. So I mean, maybe who knows? But anyways, I really wanted to talk today, guys, about people who are judgmental and negative in your life. And for me, since having the podcast, since getting on social media, I understand that exposes me and my brand and what I stand for. It kind of exposes it to a lot of people who may not see eye to eye with what I see and whatnot. But what I've been noticing is the amount of people, not a lot, but there's people out there who are just negative and they don't like to see you succeed. They don't like to see you, and I don't even like to say the word doing, like the phrase doing better, but they don't like to see you succeeding. And I noticed that recently with just all that I got going on. And let me tell you this, guys, before we get into the episode. I don't care what you do, just fucking do it unapologetically. Do it. If you're that bitch, if you're that person who just does it all, do it and don't apologize for it. If you're working on yourself, going to the gym, having that job, doing your hobbies, your work, fucking do it. Let those people who hate on you and are judgmental, let them do it. They're always going to be there. Always gonna be there. Let them. Let them. I'm so tired of people just feeling like because their life is miserable that everyone else has to be miserable too. No. Don't do that. Live in your joy and your peace. And I hate to say this, but people are where they are at because they put themselves there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stand on that hill. I grew up in a very rough area. I grew up in a very, very toxic environment at times, not always, but you can find your way out of something. So for those people who are judging and for those people who feel like they're upset with your success, let them be upset. Let them be pissed off. You keep fucking thriving. You keep being that bad bitch that you know that you are. And don't let anyone fucking tell you otherwise. Don't. Because I'm so tired of people, you know, telling you how you should live your life when their fucking life is in shambles. You know, don't let them do that. Do not allow people to dictate your life. You own your life and you run your life. And to be honest, guys, I can give zero fucks about what people think about me. I really can. I'm living my life. I have a great support team, a great family. I have a great friends. Like I am not letting anyone and their fucking miserable life get to me, and you shouldn't either. So, but I wanted to just kind of bring that up because I feel like a lot of people are very judgmental and they're very harsh on judging others, and when they need to focus on themselves. But I really hope you enjoy this episode. Unbothered: How to Handle Judgment and Harsh Negativity. All right, guys. So, in this episode, we're diving into how to handle judgment, silence negativity, and protect your peace without shrinking yourself, whether it's side comments, online hate, or subtle shade from people close to you. This conversation is about rising above it all and staying true to you. Because the truth is, guys, at the end of the day, people will always talk about what you believe in, about what you stand for, about how you live your life. But the question is, will you listen? Will you listen to those people who have nothing but negative things to say, nothing but harsh critiques and harsh criticism? And I get critiques. I come from a theater background. I am used to performing something and getting critiqued. I mean, like right after. I remember doing a Greek monologue and getting torn to shreds from my professor about how I did. I took it and I grew with it, but it wasn't hateful. It wasn't with ill intent. And I feel like a lot of people, when they say harsh comments, they do it with ill intent. That's what we're going to talk about. So the first question is, why do people judge? That's a hard question to answer because I think it's a lot deeper than what we think it is. But I think the number one reason why people judge is because of insecurity. People project what they lack. So if they see you thriving, if they see you really being the best version of yourself and just doing it, they get upset. They're jealous. They're angry. But you cannot focus on those people who are not doing what you're doing or how you're doing it. And I can even give an example of like, working out at the gym. There's guys next to me that are doing 3 times as much as me and going faster, but I'm not comparing myself to them. I am there to focus on me and get the job done. And that's with this podcast, that's with school. I remember when I was in grad school, uh I really focused on myself. And there was times, we're human, that I would be like, oh, how did this person do? How did that person do? And I'm like, Paul, stop doing that. Like, you're in your lane and you have to focus on you. And then you end up fine. You're like, oh shit, I graduated with the 4.0 and I did really well. So, for me, I think that's what you need to do to focus on you. And I think a lot of it too is people who judge were conditioned. That's how they were raised. I know a lot of people, I see their parents and then I'm like, oh, now I get why they're so harsh and judgmental and angry at the world. That whole saying, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. That's exactly what that is. But I do believe that just because you were raised a certain way doesn't mean that you have to have those same beliefs. Because, my mom has different beliefs as me. She lived life differently. That doesn't mean I got to do the same thing. The other one is fear of difference, especially relevant for LGBTQ plus conversations, right? So this is one hits home for me because I am queer. I'm openly queer. I'm unapologetically queer. I don't care what people think about me. I am always going to stand in my LGBTQ plusness. I always am. And I've heard people say a lot of slurs, harsh things about the community in which I am a part of. But I see such insecurities when people are talking harshly. I see hate. I see loneliness. I see bitterness. So I let them. Again, for someone who's been out since they were very young, 13, 14 years old, I never allowed those people to really have any control over my mind or anything like that. And another reason people judge is because of control. Some people don't like when you evolve. And this happens a lot. This happens a lot. I've been told in my life, like, oh, I can't believe you're that young and you've gotten this far. I can't believe this or that. I'm like, worry about your own life. Why are you worried about what I am doing? Focus on you. And this can be from friends or family or colleagues. Like, don't worry about me, dude. Worry about you. So for you listening out there, again, judgment is always going to be there. Always, always, always going to be there. It's just knowing how to navigate it. So, what judgment does to you, right? And this is why I'm having this episode because I've been feeling a lot of judgment in the world, not just from me personally, but from a lot of other people and how they're doing things. And I keep on telling my friends and, people that I love, like, stop worrying about what others think about you. And I know that the political climate and our administration has a lot to do with it because we are in such a polarizing time right now. We are like extreme left, extreme right, extreme up, extreme down. And that's causing a lot of tension between people. It's causing a lot of judgment with people. But what I've noticed is what it does to people. And I've been a victim of this too. It causes self-doubt. It causes you to overthink. It causes you to shrink yourself to fit others. And then it causes you to lose authenticity because then you're also thinking, shit, should I do that? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should not. I mean, I'm new to social media, right? I'm new to TikTok, and I even find myself like, should I post this? Should I not? Should I dish? You start to sometimes program yourself based off of what other people think, and I'm like, no, you're gonna post it. I don't care if one person likes it or 1,000 people like it. You're gonna post it, and you're going to be your authentic self. But the biggest one for me is self doubt. When you have self doubt while navigating life, you're not going to live the life that you want to live. Your decision making is not going to be the same. And this is why I tell people you need to have confidence in yourself. No matter how you feel you look, how you want to, you need to have confidence and not allow people to affect that. Because, guys, I'm telling you right now, when you have self doubt, good luck making any decision, whether it's in a relationship, professionally, personally. When you have self doubt, every decision you make is going to be tarnished versus when you don't have self doubt and you have confidence in who you are and you know exactly who you are. You're going to answer the way you need to. You're going to live life the way you need to. I said this a long time ago, but I was having a conversation with one of my really good friends, and I've said this on the podcast before, but I was telling her, I want to get to the point in my life where my yeses are yes and my nos are nos, meaning that I am confidently telling somebody yes and I am confidently telling somebody no. When you get to that point in your life where you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Yes, I will do that. You live life differently. And another thing, don't allow people judgment to cause you to overthink. Because when you overthink, you're never going to make a decision. You just never will. And I've been in my life at times where I'm like, oh my God, you're overthinking. Should I do this? Should I not? And I'm like, Paul, make the damn decision already, dude. Just make it. Now, one that I've seen the most, and it's the one that I think hurts me the most is when I see it, is shrinking yourself to fit others. Absolutely not. No. I don't care what you call me, what slur, who you, I am not going to shrink myself because what you think about me. I'm not. Again, I'm very vocal in my beliefs, in my belief system, and what I think matters. And people can say the harshest things to me. I'm still not going to shrink myself. I'm still going to be me, whether you like it or not. And for you listening out there, don't ever shrink yourself to fit a man, a woman, anyone, a boss, a supervisor. You never want to be shrinking yourself, which means that you're not going to be at anyone's mercy. Do not allow it to happen. So, how do you handle it? How do we handle judgment? And I'll speak for myself, right? Again, I've been judged since I was a fucking kid, right? I was unapologetically me. I was listening to fucking Spice Girls and Britney Spears and trolling around my bedroom, wanting to be just a diva, you know? So a lot of it comes from just innately being allowed to be myself. How to handle judgment is don't internalize it. Not everything said about you is for you. People say shit about me all the time. Great. You don't like my podcast? Don't listen. You don't like my social media? Don't follow. It's that simple. And the best one for me is when dealing with judgment and dealing with critique, check the source. So my favorite quote is to anyone is consider the source. Is that someone you actually respect? Would you trade lives with them? Consider the source when you're getting critiqued or someone's judging you for your political belief or for your mission driven work or for what you stand for. Consider the source. And then that judgment that's coming towards you, you're like, okay, yeah, now I see why, your life is the way it is. And you're judging me? Okay, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Really consider that and think about that. And don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from, right? Do not do that. I see so many people just giving unsolicited advice, and I'm like, guys, no. So a real way to protect yourself from judgment and critiques and hatefulness is setting boundaries. You don't owe everyone access to you. Protect your peace. Protect it. Don't allow people to hinder your peace or your happiness. And I get it. I know it's hard. We're human. I still sometimes I'm like, somebody would say something to me. I'm like, bitch, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking kidding me? And then I'm like, Paul, settle down. Consider the source. Look who they are. Look where they're at. Look at their life. Settle your ass down. Sit down and focus on you. But it's hard sometimes because sometimes we want to react based off of emotion. And again, I am so guilty of this. I was raised in the hood. So it's easy for me to just, snap my head back and be like, what, bitch? Let's go. But, I'm a certain age now. I have more credentials, so you got to be really careful. And I get it. I get it. So setting those boundaries will really help you. And then refrain from it. Refrain from the negativity and the judgment. Don't surround yourself with those people. If someone's making you feel bad or if someone's making you feel really shitty, don't surround yourself with them. Guys, you have the opportunity to surround yourself with whoever you want to surround yourself with. You really do. This is not an excuse podcast. If you have excuses, this is not the right podcast for you. But you have the opportunity to surround yourself with people who lift you, who see you, who want the best for you. So remember that. And this right here is very important. Confidence is built, it's not given. I'm going to say that again because I think it's so powerful. Confidence is built, it's not given. No one should give you confidence. No man, no boyfriend, no partner, no wife, no one. No one telling you that you're pretty, that you're cute, that you're good looking, and you're this and you're that should give you confidence. You have to give yourself that confidence. Because what happens is, as soon as that same person who told you were pretty tells you you're ugly and you're nasty or whatever the case may be, they strip it away. So that person now owns your confidence. No, I own my confidence. I tell myself that I'm cute, that I'm charming, that I'm whatever the case may be, that I have a good personality. Sometimes that's all I got at times. So remember that. And I see so many women, and I speak on women because that's a big chunk of my audience, but I see so many women whose confidence was given to them by their boyfriend or a partner or a guy or a fuck buddy or a douchebag, a tool. And the minute that guy takes it away from them, they have nothing left. Nothing. Nothing. Words are powerful, but do those daily affirmations and stand firm in your truth. That's what's going to give you the confidence. And I get it, guys. There's days where I feel like, what's the Taylor Swift song, Anti-Hero? I feel like a monster on a hill. I don't feel my best. I feel bloated. I feel like Humpty Dumpty. I'm like, who's going to want to be with this fucking guy over here? Which I feel like sometimes because we're so harsh on ourselves at times, you know? But we all have that. We're human. But we give ourselves our confidence. No one else does. So a big one is handling online versus real life negativity. Online, don't engage, block, protect your energy. Since having social media, I've had to block a couple people, but it happens. But I'm not letting it get to me. A guy made a comment to me the other day. I made a comment about, just gas prices being up, and he went in this whole spiel with me. I'm like, dude, that's not even what I was talking about, but it happens. Block them, erase, keep moving. But I'm not gonna go on a war with someone. One thing you won't catch me doing is I'm not gonna go on in a battle war with you over what your beliefs are and mine are. And in real life, address it or distance yourself. If there is a problem with negativity, address it with someone. Well, if not, then distance yourself from them. It really is that simple, guys. So, how do you own your identity? How do you own your identity? And I know, again, for me, I own my identity because I have to work at it. I didn't wake up just being this confident person, vibrant and unapologetically me. I didn't wake up this way. I still every day have to remind myself like who I am, what I want to do, and what my goals are. But for you listening, you have to be unapologetically yourself and not dimming your light for comfort of others. I'd rather be judged for being real than accepted for being fake. Remember that. If you're out there listening and you feel that you aren't able to be authentically yourself because you're going to be judged or critiqued. Guys, that is the only way. And I say this quite often on my podcasts, but I mean it. Life is too short. It just is to not live authentically who you want to be. It is. I hate to sound so dark and emo or whatnot. Season one, I lost a really good friend of mine, and she was 30, 33. And I always think about her when I think about people who are judgmental or living in my light and not dimming it and being authentically who I need to be. Because again, when you're walking up a casket and that person is 30 something years old and you're like, it really puts in perspective how short life is and how you only get one. There's no do-over. You get one life. The name that you have, that's who you are. The heart that you have, that's who you are. Your soul, that's who you are. You have to remember that. So if you're in an unhappy relationship, if you're in an unhappy situation, job, career, like life is too fucking short. I'm telling you, we live in a here today, gone tomorrow world where that if you don't do what you want to do, live authentically you, you're wasting your life away. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from this episode, it's this. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. So you might as well be you while they do it. Protect your peace, stand in your truth, and don't let anyone make you feel small for being exactly who you are. You need to remember that. I want to thank you for tuning in, guys. Again, if you haven't, follow me on TikTok at Generation Latino Podcast. Follow me on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Feel free to leave a review. But I want to thank you. And remember, guys, you have one life. Do not let other people dictate your life. Don't let them dim your light, and be unapologetically you. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you on the next episode.